I got a question for everybody today. Will a half-assed endorsement for federal cannabis reform end up being the medicine an ailing American Democratic Party needed all along? Will it be the medicine? No, probably not. But we can talk about it. According to Marijuana Moment's Kyle Yeager, the Democratic National Committee is touting President Joe Biden's marijuana pardons and rescheduling moves while calling for broader reform to expunge prior records. However, unlike in 2020, the party's latest draft platform that was approved by a party committee on Tuesday does not promote broader decriminalization. Why? The party is also blasting former President Donald Trump, the newly named Republican presidential nominee, over his prior administration's anti-cannabis actions. As the November election approaches, DNC is taking a note from the president, describing the cannabis pardons he's issued as one of his quote-unquote historic steps Biden has taken to promote criminal justice reform in his first term. I'm trying my best not to make any jokes about Biden tripping, falling, because he is not taking any real historic steps that we know of. But anyways, no one should be in jail just for using or possessing marijuana, it says, echoing the president's increasingly common refrain. Sending people to prison for possession has upended too many lives and incarcerated people for conduct that many states no longer prohibit, it says. Those criminal records impose needless barriers to employment, housing, and educational opportunities, and disproportionately affecting Black and brown people. No one should be in jail for using or possessing marijuana. Sending people to prison for possession has upended too many lives and incarcerated people for conduct that many states no longer prohibit. Those criminal records impose needless barriers to employment, housing, and educational opportunities, disproportionately affecting Black and brown people. And Biden took historic action to end this failed approach by pardoning people convicted federally for using or possessing marijuana. He has called on governors to use their pardon power to do the same for state-level offenses, and his administration is taking a major step to reschedule marijuana so it's no longer classified as more dangerous than fentanyl or methamphetamine. Per the article, Gay Valamont, a DNC delegate who is running against incumbent Matt Gaetz,
he's going to lose.
Homeboy.
Doesn't have a chance. Big fat loser.
He was looking like a cartoon character last night. He ease up on that Botox, bro. Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Did you see him call out Kevin McCarthy?
I love elephant fights.
Yeah.
Touched on the issue on Tuesday's DNC platform committee hearing, reiterating that the platform showcases President Biden's action to improve the criminal justice system by taking a major step to reschedule marijuana and pardoning those federally convicted of marijuana-only offenses. The platform, meanwhile, also says that Democrats will take action to expunge federal marijuana-only convictions, while Biden had repeatedly suggested pardons already cleared records. He more recently clarified that that is not the case. While pardons represent formal forgiveness, a president cannot unilaterally expunge records. Yeager then highlighted that notably, the party's position on decriminalizing cannabis is not explicitly mentioned in this year's platform. Even though it's a policy Biden previously campaigned on, he's been largely silent on decriminalization since being elected, despite Vice President Kamala Harris calling for broader marijuana legalization in a recent closed-door roundtable discussion with pardon recipients. 4 years ago, this was a major part of them reaching across the aisle and trying to get, the cannabis users, the red cannabis users, Jason, Beck, and Jenny Beth Dills, like those people, he's trying to draw them over, but it did not work. So I also want to talk about 4 years ago. The Safe Banking Act was on its third round of being passed by the U.S. House of Representatives, but predictably, DOA once again when it reached the U.S. Senate. The idea that cannabis would never be a serious or important enough issue to take precedence over any other major parties' agenda items left any kind of meaningful reform on a federal level in political purgatory. Even though 4 years later, 75% of the whole damn country's moved forward on their own terms, this is where we are still today. Meanwhile, on the other side, Republican National Convention is drawn to a close tonight, and I'm sure more people than not are grateful that this year's election season is finally coming to a close. It's entering its final stages.
Is it?
The right's presumptive nominee is all but formally confirmed to accept his party's nomination this evening. And if you let them tell it, talking about you, Jason, them, you, Jenny, Beth.
That's fine.
Them. The vibes have never been better.
They haven't.
Even though ratings for this year's RNC are the worst since Mitt Romney's last run, in the wake of Donald Trump's survival of an attempted assassination this past weekend, the Republicans are indeed unified. Both of Trump's biggest primary foes came out to kiss the ring this week. Bird brain Nikki Haley and meatball Ron DeSantis, the latter of which quadrupled down on his delusional prohibitionist rhetoric, saying that reform gives you limitless constitutional right to possess and smoke. And oh yeah, that whole 20 joints comment from last week, he's talking about 80 now. He said, oh, it's up to 40 joints?
It's 4 packs of joints.
Is that what he said? This is what he said last night. This dude's really saying this shit. So he said, I think it's up to 40 joints? Is that what the 3 ounces would be? 40? More than that? 80 joints? Something like that. It will be bad for quality of life. It will make Florida more blue. We've got to be united as Republicans and do what's right. And he also wanted to, warned that reform would allow open consumption in privately owned restaurants. So I guess at least with this year's election, awesome. Americans are once again forced to choose between a giant douche and a turd sandwich. But this time, it's not just the candidates, it's the company they carry with them. I implore everybody, take a step back and just light that match and walk away.
Oh, God.
It's all over, man.
Oh, God.
I'm Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street for High at 9 News, and I'm optimistic about me, my family, and everything that I can control. But things on the broad level, trash, garbage.
Oh, boy.
You know, it's funny, Jason. I found this one in the car this morning, and I knew Rico was going to cover it because there was a little bit of mud to sling at the RNC. We discussed this, and then I looked.
Slinging at both sides, as usual. All y'all hear is y'all need to clean your ears out because all you hear is me talking shit about the Republicans. I talk
now Rico's
just as
purple,
much, if not more, about Joe Biden and his.
Did you really though?
Y'all can keep it. That's why I'll never fuck with y'all.
I don't know. Let's put up a poll. Let's ask the audience. Let's ask them if they think that Rico talked more shit about the Republicans or the Democrats in this story. I want to hear what the audience has to say about this. That's going to be the determining factor, right? Because all I heard was trash talk on Republicans. Just on this story. Okay. Just on this story.
Keep it granular.
Yeah.
How about you? How about you guys give me your take on the DNC like moving towards?
Come on.
Is this going to be their saving grace? Is this going to save the election that they gave away this year?
Not a chance. Not a chance. They are strictly doing this to pander to try to gain more voters. That's all that they are trying to do because they know that they have lost this election before it even started.
I'd like to see what the numbers right now are reporting for black and brown voters because that's who they're pandering to right now with all this rhetoric. So I would love to see what happened over the weekend to those approval ratings for President Trump.
Y'all trust polls again now?
Only the ones you swing on, Rico.
Oh no! It's carrot season, y'all. Come on. Carrot. It's time to dangle them. We've got nothing but lip service so far from these historic moves that Biden's made for cannabis. It's more of the same.
You call them historic?
We'll see.
Stone?
We'll see how serious the talk is after the election.
You call them
I
historic?
can't wait for this shit to be over, Matt.
No, I'm saying it's mostly lip service for the supposed historic moves. I mean, yeah, he's done enough to where it is historic. I mean, it's the other presidents haven't done what he's done, but
what has he done?
What he's done really only appeals to people who don't know much about the industry. It sounds good to, Joe, little soccer mom, and all the people that aren't doing stuff with cannabis every day. It sounds good. Joe Biden pardoned people. No,
I'm confused as to what he's done.
You have to explain it to the layman. So it is what it is.
I think saying and doing are two very different things. And he said that he was doing some things, but we know that those policies that he put into place don't actually do anything. And fortunately, I'm also a soccer mom, so I'm out there at practice telling people what's what.
But isn't the whole point of running for office proving to people that you will do what you say? Fuck all this double speak. Yeah, like for real, man. Like, why don't you do what you say? How about that? How about we start putting people in power?
That's why Trump's going to go back in office, because he at least does what he says.
100%.
Oh, he doesn't. He is the king of saying one thing and doing the other.
I don't know.
Look, Rico's pendulum is swinging.
Yeah, he is. It's swinging back.
I'm actually sitting down right now.
I'm going to get you a purple hat, Rico.
What do you think about all this, Rachelle? All this pandering?
I think it's definitely political theater. That's for sure. And it's interesting how the Biden camp is leaning into this conversation. To me, it shows that they are really, really concerned with courting young voters and Black and brown communities. Clearly, they know they need them, and they know that they have a battle for them raging. And so, yeah, I don't actually think that there's much progress being made personally, but it's political theater.
Yes, it definitely is some political theater, and I'm all here for it. I love the kabuki theater. I'm all the way for it all day. It's fantastic.
Never mind.
Bullshit. What it all is. It continues.
Jason, answer this for me.
Sure.
Do you believe that this is going to be the most consequential American election of all time?
Yes, because every election is the most consequential election of our time, Rico. And yes, I encourage everyone to go vote and make sure that they vote red, down ticket. And on that, we're going to go to a commercial and we're going to be right back.